Hey everybody, we're back with a project for this week. We are going to be using paint. If you have paint, and we'll water that paint down just a little bit so it is a little bit more watery. The best thing to use this week is going to be watercolor paint. Just like this, just a simple set of watercolor paints will work fantastic. The other option that you can use is food coloring. And we're going to be using oil pastels or crayons. Okay, so I'm going to show you. Yep, here's my crayon. And I'm going to suggest using like white or black or gray, something without too much color, because we're going to be adding color when we do the paint. Okay, now we're going to be tracing things. Okay, and you're welcome to draw. If you want to just draw, that's okay. What I'm going to be showing you today is how to trace some things with the crayons or the oil pastels. So you can trace a circle with a roll of tape, and you won't see it with the white until we put the paint on. And I like using the tape because it's a lot easier to trace the inside of the tape than to trace the outside and keep my crayon along the edge. The other thing I could trace, if I wanted to, I could trace my hand. Or we could use rulers, okay? And if we use rulers, you can get some really cool designs. If you look at some of these over here with like a grid, and that has a really cool effect. I'll add a couple lines here with the ruler just so you can see. Okay? Maybe I'll use a gray instead of the white. There's no right or wrong way of making these designs. I'm kind of making this design up as I go. Okay, looks pretty cool. Now, let's see. Now, I could keep making my designs here, or I could go to the paint, and I think I'm going to go to the paint. Okay, so I'm going to be showing you with just this basic set of watercolors, and I'm going to go with some green, okay? And I don't need to try and paint anything specific. I can just paint over the top of what I'm painting, okay? And some of my designs are going to start to show up as I paint over the top. You can see the lines are showing up, and some of the circles are showing up. The other cool way of, well, let me put some more paint on and then I'll show you that other way. I'll put some yellow on here. It's fun mixing the colors together. And if the lines aren't showing up, you can just add a little bit more water by dipping it into your container of water and spreading it out on the paper. Now, another way of adding some paint is to dip your brush in and then kind of flick it like this. Tap, tap. I could tap, 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 or I could kind of drop some on. Another really cool way going to show you this one, is to use a straw. And if you have watercolor that comes in a tube like this, many of you probably won't have this, but I'm just going to show it to you anyway for those that may. If you have watercolor that comes in a little tube, you can kind of dilute it, and then you can kind of dip a straw in or a eyedropper and drip some of your paint on, and that's kind of fun too. The last thing that I wanted to point out was that if you don't have a thicker paper like this, a great option is to use the inside of a paper bag. It's really nice thick paper, and it holds up well to the water, okay? You can also use cardboard, okay? You could use a piece of cardboard and you can paint on that too. I actually like the brown, it's a nice background. And the other thing, if you need some sort of adaptive brush, okay, and this would be a good thing to maybe ask your OT about if you have an OT that's working with you. You can make adaptive brushes with cans or even by balling up newspaper and extending it. I actually like painting with these. I think it's a lot of fun just because it's just a different experience painting with the brush on a stick, okay? And you could put it on, you know, a longer stick, and it's just a totally different experience and is a lot more gross motor control, okay? And I have a video on how to make these brushes that you'll see right next to this video, right below it, okay? Please, if you have any questions or if there's materials that you don't have and you need an alternate project, please don't hesitate to email me at jlsteiner@pnwdeboses.org. And I hope to see you at our show and share Zoom on Thursdays at 1 o'clock. Okay? Have a great day, everybody.